Hey everyone, this is Grecelle. I'm making a little video tonight because I have a lot of just energy going from some of the things that I've been learning and looking into to motivate myself, and I wanted to share something that I came across today. So many of you have probably heard of Tony Robbins, or you've listened to the story of Sylvester Stallone, but I just thought that I had never heard it before, and maybe I'd heard it before, but I just heard like bits and pieces here and there, and I never really heard the entire story myself. So I thought this was super cool, and I wanted to share it with you guys. A lot of times people, are really, really passionate. We have drive. We want to do something with our lives. We know that it's the potential and the possibilities are there, but for some reason, we just keep. So I can honestly tell you that, these stories and these success stories of people who actually did, just get past like the craziest things, like the craziest barriers, and they still made it through. It's because they had this wavering drive. Like, you just have this end goal. You have this why, like, why am I doing this? And you just don't lose that. So you figure out what that is, and then you just don't lose it. You hold on to it. So whatever your why is, it has to keep you going and pushing you through all those barriers. So Sylvester Stallone, he basically was starving actor. He was going to all these different places in Hollywood, trying to find work, and nobody really liked his look. Everyone kind of thought he was just like not anything interesting for the movies, so they kept sending him away. And he said he would go back and he'd go to some of these places 5-6 times and be told no that many times. So eventually they did end up putting him in a movie, but you probably never heard of it because he was just like the nobody in the movie that was the scum that nobody really paid any attention to, because that's what they saw his character as. So anyways, lots of things go on with this story, but what's really great is he basically goes, he goes into so many different places, like negative places where he just doesn't have anything, and he's got to continuously push past that. I mean, this guy had nothing. He couldn't eat. His wife was screaming at him every day. He was hawking her jewelry. I mean, the relationship was pretty much over. And he still just believed in himself and kept pushing through and fighting for what he believed to be, and it's so great that he did, because Sylvester Stallone is so damn cool. And if you look at, the career he's had and everything, like, this story just amazes me in so many different ways, because it's not just his story. There's lots of people like this. And I've even gone through situations like this in my life with certain things that people thought were impossible, and they gave me so much crap. And I just kept going, and I just kept telling myself that it didn't matter. And sometimes I have a lot of difficulty with that. Like, it doesn't matter, if it's something easy for me to push through or something difficult for me to push through. Probably the more difficult it is, the better it is. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like, the harder something is, sometimes that's the one that you just got to give it that, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then it ends up being the most amazing thing ever. So Sylvester Stallone, he basically gets to this really bad point where he even goes to a store and stands outside of the store with his best friend, like the only person in life who had never really doubted him and was always there beside him, his dog. And he takes the dog and he's trying to hawk the dog for some money because he doesn't have any money. He can't eat. So apparently somebody finally came along and was taking the dog and negotiated the price of $25. Like, Sylvester wanted $50, but he wasn't getting $50. So this guy gave him $25 for his dog. And he said he walked away, and it was like the lowest point in his entire life, where he just felt, wow, like, I'm walking, away with this $25, but I've just done one of the lowest things in my entire life. Like, I've given away my best friend, And anyway, he ended up having a surge of kind of passion, and he saw this fight on television, and he ended up writing the movie Rocky from the fight. So he said he just stayed up for 3 days or something, or all night long, whatever it was, and he wrote the movie. And how amazing! And that's what happens. You get these downloads. It's just this surge of creativity or passion or something that comes into your life that it's it. You have that feeling. So he knew, and he wrote this out. And he takes it again to all these places, because now he's like, okay, well, I'm still the actor, and I'm still going to star in this movie. I am Rocky, but they're going to buy my screenplay. He was sure of it. So he takes it to all these places. A lot of these places just tell him all these negative things, and they don't want to buy it. Eventually, he finds the right one, and they're interested, and they want to take it. And what ends up happening is, they offer him some money for it, and then tell him that he can't star in it. So he, even though he is starving and doesn't have any money and wants this money really bad, says no, because that wasn't his dream. The way he envisioned this, and that's an important word, like the way he saw it, his vision was that it was going to be him starring in this movie, and that's the way it had to be, or it was nothing at all. So he walked away from millions of dollars, like, or $500,000 or whatever the amount was, and they kept coming back to him, trying to give him more money and buy it without him being the star, and he kept saying no. So eventually, he ends up getting some ridiculous amount of money, like $50,000 or something like that, plus the ability to be the star in his own movie. And they're like, this isn't going to work, but, you know, if it's going to fail, it's going to be on you, and we'll just give you like a couple, you know, points in the movie or whatever. So if it makes money, you make money too. Well, we all know that Rocky ended up scoring like big time. It was millions of dollars, and he did really well. So even though he only got that $50,000, you know, that's what happened. Like, it actually worked out for him. And then he was able to take all of those comments, all of those people who turned him down, he actually read those out loud at the Oscars. You gotta love this man for being so amazing. And then on top of that, he went back and bought his dog. So he goes back to the store where he sold the dog, and he just waited there for 3 days to find the guy who he'd sold his dog to. So he basically ends up finding this guy, and he's offering him all this money. He's like, $50, I'll give you $100, I'll give you more, I'll give you more. The guy's like, no. And Sylvester's like, but you know what? I knew what the end result was going to be. The end result was going to be that I got my dog back. So I just kept repositioning how I did it. And until it worked, and it made it happen. So you guys are going to love this. He ended up spending $15,000 of that $50,000 on his dog. And he gave the guy a part in the movie. You gotta love Sylvester Stallone, and you gotta love his story and his passion and his motivation and his drive. So don't give up. When you have that feeling, when you know what your why is, like why do you want this? Why do you want a better future? Why do you want to live a fairy tale? Why do you want to have the dream? Is it going to make you happy, or is it just about having a bunch of money? Is it to show off, or is it because it's going to ideally make you laugh and smile and feel good every day, and you're just going to be like, this is amazing, my life is amazing, this is why. So know your why, and then everything else just sort of trickles after that. Like, nothing gets in your way, and things will get in your way. That's not what I mean, literally. I mean, nothing will get in your way, because it's not really going to matter what obstacle comes. You're going to push through it, and you're going to know that if you keep going, you're going to make it happen. So, hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this crazy video. I love passion. I love motivating others. I love giving you guys a reason to aspire to be more. And, you know, everything I'm doing on this page is for this company that I work with called Aspire. And through them, I am like promoting products and training and so forth to teach people online marketing. It's pretty awesome, and I think that a lot of you who are interested in this type of a job are looking all over the internet, and there are a lot of things out there. So be really careful and just, you know, try to find real people who are really put behind whatever it is they're offering. So I'm a real person, and I'm backing, you know, everything that I would talk to you about on this page is real. It's not something that like you just see on the internet and you hear all these videos of like people going, oh, I made all this money. Well, that might be the case, but you know, that's real. That's not like a fake movie saying you can do this and do that. There's real people, real training, real coaching, real mentoring, and it's a real company with real possibilities. So anyways, with that said, PM me, message me if you have any questions, if you just want to get together and talk, if you want to exchange ideas, passions, motivations, inspirations. You know, I'm all for that. So thanks guys for paying attention to my crazy video, and I'll see you next time. Have a beautiful and amazing day. Namaste.